Wanted to take a video of the Invader 2000. This radio is for sale. I restored this radio 2 or 3 years ago. I bought it from the original owner. He only used it on CW. He used it from new, 1961. He bought it as an Invader 200. Used it for 2 years, and then bought the Invader 2000 kit to upgrade these. These were never sold as a 2000. It was a kit that you bought and upgraded your 200. Some dealers did put them together and sell them as 2000s, but Johnson never did that. So yeah, this came from the original owner, and he used it all the way up to 1983, where he bought a Kenwood, and that's where I came in. I bought it and completely restored it. So the power supply's down there on the floor. That has all new caps. The exciter power supply and the high voltage supply has been rebuilt. Screen voltage has been put on the high tap. There's a new relay in there, new cabling. It's on 220 volts. And the radio, the paint on these always flakes off. I'll turn the volume down. Always flakes off of these. It was a plated chassis that they painted over, and so this had to be sanded all the way down, etching primer and painted. I went a different direction on this. I hate the purple gray color that they had. I wanted to make it match the Collins station here. So that's why it is that color. But as you can see, it's got a very clean faceplate on it. I'll go over here and lift the lid. It's a nice clean radio. There's the 4-400s. So lots of work in here. This took me approximately a year to iron out. I had to get new carrier crystals back there. I was lucky enough to be able to order those from International before they closed. But obviously tubes were changed. This had bad mica caps, shorted ones in the PA section back there. This is where the 6146s are. But all of the capacitors have been changed underneath. Probably 30 resistors or more. They were all of them were high in value. But I used disc caps and orange drops to replace all of the paper, wax paper, and molded capacitors. So they're all changed out. Alignment. And this radio, one of the biggest problems with the 200 and the 2000 is this transformer right here, this little IF transformer. That's the driver transformer, and those are always bad. That's why these things act the way they do. There's mica capacitors built into the bottom of the transformer. And those capacitors go bad, so you can't obtain a peak in drive. So with some help of a friend, we found a 10 megahertz IF transformer, and then modified that with modern mica capacitors, and replaced the problematic one. So I've restored 3 of these, and all 3 had to get that changed. You'll have a lack of drive if you don't. The other problem with these is the lack of bypassing. For some reason, Johnson didn't put bypassing on the high voltage line. They also didn't have bypass caps on the screen. I probably added a dozen or more ceramic disc bypass caps all through the radio. That removed the RF that gets onto the audio line in these. Very stable. This is a later radio. It has the 4-to-1 knob here, and it is very, very stable. You can set this on frequency and leave it. It doesn't need any warm up. The VFO is heated in this transmitter, so there is no warm up time. You can turn this on cold, maybe give it a few minutes for the tubes to come up, and then it's ready to operate, and the VFO won't drift because it's already heated up. You could talk all evening on this, and it just stays on frequency. Very, very stable. Early radios were not stable. They did not have a 4-to-1 knob, and you would have to chase it all over the place. Keep that in mind if you're going to buy one of these. It's very, very important that you get that. But I'll show you how much drive it has. As you can see there, the meter, that's the 0 beat, and there is a ton of drive here. In fact, you can peg the meter. Unless you change that transformer out, you will never get that much drive. You'll maybe get the needle to go up to a quarter if you're lucky. So yeah, that's the Invader 2000. Let's see here. There is, I don't know, about 2,300 volts on it, on the plates. Put it in standby, and voltage drops away. And I'll make a second video of it working here on the air. The radio does about 715 watts or so on low, on sideband, and about 150 watts of AM carrier on low. And on high, the transmitter will do 16 to 1700 PEP. If you have the gain control underneath the hood there turned up a bit, it'll actually just go over legal limit, a couple hundred watts. I don't run it up that high. I have the gain control set to where it does about 1200 out. You can turn it up to legal limit if you want. I just felt like it was easier on it if you're going to be rag chewing and sitting around talking for hours. If you back it off just a bit. It is a 2000. It's 2000 watts input, so these in factory form would do like a kilowatt to 1100 out. So I have it set just slightly over that. But if you want it to do legal limit, you can just turn it up to it so it does that, no problem. And I got it paired up here with a 75A4 for a classic sideband station. So anyone interested in the radio, it is in Phoenix, Arizona. I don't want to ship this. It would probably be destroyed. It is extremely fragile. This power supply down here weighs a ton. You really need to come and pick the thing up. But it's working and ready to be enjoyed. If you have any questions, you can send me an email, W7WRX.